Okay, so we're live on YouTube. Hello, everybody around the world. My name is Clinton Brito, and today I'm going to be your host here on Talking Talk. I'm here with Gessé, and today we're going to talk about planning an international trip. And Gessé, I put the questions on the chat. But first, like always, we like to see everybody introducing each other. So feel free to introduce yourself for us, please.
Okay, hello. My name is Gessé. I'm from Brazil. I live in south of Brazil in a city called Novo Hamburgo, and I have graduate in business administration and postgraduate in machine learning and data science, and now I work as a data analyst.
All right. And for how long are you here on Talk and Talk?
My first week, I
First week?
started. Yeah, I started Monday.
Nice. And how has it been this
Really
first
good.
week?
I I'm enjoying the immersion.
And previous these immersions at Talk and Talk, do you practice English in another way?
Yeah, I use it other platforms, and I read a lot in English because my job in my job is necessary, and uh, documentation, for example, is all in English. But uh, not every day. I didn't study every day, and in talking talk it is possible.
Very good. Nice. Well, my name is Clinton Brito. My background is a little bit similar with you, Jesse. I have a degree in business management, and I am transitioning career at the moment. I worked in the financial markets for 6 years, and I've been studying software development, not data science, but a little bit similar, for the past 2 years. By next month, it will be complete for 2 years that I've been studying. And I from Aracaju. I am at São Paulo at the moment, but I live in Aracaju, Sergipe. And I'm married. I have 4 pets, and at my free time, I like to stay home, watch movies, TV series, live sports, and to practice sports too. And how about you, Jesse? What do you like to do in your free time? Study? Don't say me that.
Yeah, I really like to study. I have a startup in my free time in
Nice.
the last few years, so it's like a second job, but I really enjoy it. I learn a lot with this job, and I like to go to the gym. I like to enjoy my free time with my wife. Yeah, I have a wife too, and I don't have pets. I have a pet, but he's died this year, and I don't have more. So I think is that.
Okay, sorry about your loss. I'm not prepared about myself on this matter because I have 4 and I can't imagine what's going to happen when they're gone.
Yeah, it's
I
sad.
can't imagine how difficult it is. So, okay, today we're going to talk about a little bit about tripping and about specifically planning an international trip. Could you read and answer the first question for us, please, Jesse?
Okay. Uh, First question. In your opinion, what are the most important steps to take when planning an international trip? Well, I don't have experience with that, but I think the the first step is save money. You need to have enough money for survive in another country and enjoy the travel. And the documents, I think, is very important. I don't know all the documents you need to have, but in some countries is more difficult, and you need to have more documents than the other countries. But I think the most important steps are you need to have money, enough money, and you need to have all the documents necessary for your trip.
Yeah, for some countries you need a specific visa. Um, like South America, you don't have to worry about this. Just a Brazilian passport is enough. Europe is okay as well, but countries like US, you need to um, prepare more in advance because you have to um, try to get their visa, and it's not so simple sometimes. But yeah, I think you pretty much touched about the main topics. Money is a big thing you have to worry about, and travel documents as well, like passports, visas, etc. Uh, maybe it is recommended to or not, depending the way you want to travel, but usually accommodation booking is necessary. For example, if you're traveling for US and you don't have, or Europe and you don't have booked anything like hotel or anything like that, you have a big chance to get deported because it's a signal for them that you don't have plans to go back to your country, and this is a big issue. But other countries, maybe in South America, this is not a big problem. You could be on a road trip, for example, and it's a different different perspective for our neighbors. Um, you said you didn't plan it any international trip before. Have you ever traveled abroad?
Just countries next to Brazil, America Latina, but is different because the documents are is
Much
more
easier.
yeah is easier because uh, the coin is similar, you know, the price is similar, so I think is easier than to travel for United States or Canada or Europe country.
Um, Before the current Argentinian president, the exchange was our currency was really strong compared to theirs. But I was reading article talking about the people who went to Buenos Aires recently to watch the finals of um, Copa Libertadores, and they had really bad times about paying things in general because it was really overpriced, everything. Like simple desserts was more than 100 reais, and it's uh, maybe it's not so good as it was before, but yeah, usually in South America is much easier to deal with exchange rates. So I agree with you. And the next question talks a little bit about cultural difference. I'm going to read and trying to answer. How do you think cultural differences should be considered when traveling abroad? Well, in my case, I have a specific thing that makes me worry a little bit when seeing the place that we are traveling because I am vegetarian and sometimes I have some difficult to find places to eat, etc. And it's a cultural thing about me, but about other people, I don't have this worry usually. I like to see different kinds of people, cultures in general, so it's a positive thing to have to deal this with these differences. What do you think about?
Yeah, it depends of the country. For example, I have a friend is traveling for India, so uh, he planned a lot because the food is really different. You know, I
Yeah,
think for me, for example, is will be a challenge to eat in India or China too, because when you have in a central, you know, for example, in China, if you have in Hong Kong, it's okay, but if you have in another city or a small
countryside.
city, yeah, is I think is really difficult to eat to communicate because the people don't speak English in the small cities, and I think it's really difficult to move, to eat, to have a place of sleep. You know,
Yeah.
do
Uh,
you travel abroad, Clinton, for for other
I, I,
countries?
I, I have traveled to another countries. Um, I already went to some countries in Europe, in South America, only Argentina, um, and US once. Um, but yeah, you said something about, for example, going to India would be really challenging. And one country that I would really enjoy to meet is Japan. And I think it would be really difficult to um, do everything there because um, not everyone speaks English there, and they're not so worried about helping with English stuff. If you're at a restaurant, for example, the menu is not going to be in English, and I always think this would be a really challenge for me because it's a totally different way of communication. And when you are, for example, in any country that use or similar alphabetics, it's easier because you can use Google Translate to translate things, etc. But China, Japan, India, even the alphabet is completely different, and in general, this place it's so hard to find people who speaks English, uh, aside from the major places that it are tourists for tourists. So yeah, I think they are first fascinated places, but challenge for people who are not prepared to expose so much yourself. Do you agree?
Yeah, sure. I think you need to know. You need to prepare. You have to prepare for how can I say to passar trabalho. I don't know in English, but
Perrengue.
yeah, but you need to know that.
Okay, so question number four, we already have talked a little bit about documents, passports, visas, etc. So we're
Number
going to
three,
skip
number three.
Oh,
We don't talk about.
oh, yeah, I was reading the four. Sorry, but yeah, go on number three.
Okay. What do you believe are the best ways to prepare financially for a trip to another country? Well, I think uh, there is only two ways. Or are you save money, enough money, or you have enough money for traveling. And the second way, I think, if you have a remotely job and you can traveling and work in the same time, I think it is possible too, because you can work some period of the day and enjoy the rest of time. I I have I know some people that he live in Bali, for example, and they work remotely and enjoy the free time, and the cost of life is good because he earn money in dollars or euro, and in some countries is really cheap to have a good life, you know.
Do you plan to do something like that in the future?
Sure, I'm here because that I yeah, I need to improve my English, uh, because I want to take a international job and earn money in other coin. I think it's very important.
And what are the places that you have in mind to have this period in different places to live in?
I think Indonesia is a great place. Canada, United States for a short period, and Europe. I I I like the some countries in Europe, and but I think Bali and Hong Kong, I I really enjoyed because I have co-workers that traveled for Hong Kong because I work in a factory, and this year we buy it plant, or how can I say, machine, the China, and my colleague traveled for China, Hong Kong, and she talked a lot, and she liked the culture, the technology. Another country I think is really interesting is Singapore. You know that
Yeah.
I watched some videos of the Singapore, and I like it too.
It's funny how diverse the countries are.
Yeah,
Yes, you, you say that.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you could be in completely different environments, in different weathers. Depends on the country.
yeah. And the most funny thing is, if you know English very well, you can travel for the any country in the world. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. But in my case, some places I don't think I would consider to live in. For example, Singapore, the weather is so bad, the moisture is so high, the it's so hot, warm, all 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 throughout the year. It's not just a specific period. It's not just in summer. I mean, it's the whole year.
Yeah, but they have air conditioner in the streets. You know.
On the streets?
Yeah, on the streets.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
watched the video, and they have a lot of money, so I put a air conditioner in the
amazing.
streets. Yeah.
I I I s- I saw some days ago in uh, Saudi Arabia, they have very strong weather too. I mean, oh, it's a desert, and they have like huge umbrellas. They spread throughout squares, big squares, and these huge umbrellas helps to minimize the temperature in like 8, 10 degrees. So it's not an air conditioner on streets, but you remember this other idea they had to try to solve this problem. But yeah, I think I would prefer more cooled weathers because I live in Aracaju, but I don't like the weather from there. It's summer all the whole year. Uh, but answer the question. When you said that there were two ways to solve this problem about ways to prepare financially for a trip for another country, I was expecting to you to answer the second thing besides the money was something to do, I don't know, with traveling points that you can get or airline companies and credit cards, etc. Because this is another way to that Brazilians are discovering a lot recently to travel more cheaper, um, more cheaper way. Specifically about me, my wife works with this, and I can see how makes things easier to travel when you started to study about these things and understand how you could save money by traveling using these other methods. Um, but yeah, I agree with you. It's living in the place, it helps you when you can work from home remotely, helps a lot to plan to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to stay the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and in this place, I'm going to know this country, this culture, and after this, I'm going to another place. That's other way to deal with this. I just don't think about me, and I would enjoy so much this this way of living because I'm a person that enjoys a little bit more about routine, have a routine, and when you are more a nomad, it's harder to get stick with a specific routine. Do you like routines or no?
Yeah, I prefer routine. Uh, in my case, I think is it is possible to you have a routine in another country, but you you had to think, oh, okay, I will visit this country and work here for 2 months, but I have a house. Yeah, I have a house in Brazil, and 2 months here is sufficient. Of I enjoy, I learn another cultures. I learn, I know with and I know other people. So I think is that for me because traveling 1 year, for example, no, no, and you are spend a lot of money. Don't have a you will don't have a routine, and for me is better. Well, I will be here in 2 months, and after I go home and follow my routine, follow my plan, and the next year I will travel again.
Okay, nice. Uh, just about the question number 6. Could you read the answer for us, please?
Okay. What role do travel insurance and health precautions play in preparing for a trip? Well, this question I don't know how can I answer because I never searched this challenge, you know?
We don't usually worry about these things, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know any person that have to had to deal with an emergency specifically about healthy
yeah,
and how they deal with this? Do you know?
yeah. In United States, for example, I have a friend, and he needed to go to a hospital, and she spent like 5 or 10 thousand dollars for this. So it is crazy in some countries, you know. But in another countries is cheaper. But I don't know how you can prepare for that.
Yeah, well, like you said, when you need to go to a hospital and some cases you have to stay there for a few days or maybe a little bit more, the costs are really high, and the cost of contracting, signing a basic insurance travel plan, it's much cheaper. I mean, really, you can't compare. It's like wasting worst case scenario 300 up to 500 dollars. Depends, of course, of how long are you stay there and or how completely do you want to be this insurance, but uh, it's really, really important to have these things. Uh, I once needed to be not a hospital, but a I don't know, it's like a NUPA, something like this
Medical
in
center,
Argentina,
yeah,
a
Argentina.
medical center, nice. And I had this insurance and I didn't have to go to a hospital, stay there for long days, but I know stories about people who um, didn't worry about these things and spent thousands of dollars in medical care, and it's something that many times we don't give the enough importance that should be, but yeah, things can go wrong.
Yeah, but for example, we have some countries that is difficult, including of the local people. You know, for example, United States. I was talking with my I have a private lesson with a teacher, and she lived in Washington, I think, and she doesn't have a plan of health, you know, and she needed in the last month, and she spent like $10,000 because he needed to stay in the hospital like 3 or 4 days. So it's crazy because including of the local people.
Exactly, exactly. And they don't have a public system like us, although our public system is not something very, very good, but uh, once you have to stay for a few days, you're going to spend a lot of money. It's crazy, especially in US. But yeah, it depends on the country. All right, so next question, question number 7. How do you think technology like mobile apps and maps has changed the way we plan trips today? Um, do you have anything to say about this question? Not only abroad travels, but local travels. I use, for example, I think everybody uses today Google Maps. They don't have more guia quatro rodas to see what roads we will get to go to places. But what do you think about?
Yeah, helped a lot because uh, I think not only the maps, but all the apps, all the applications helped a lot. When today, for example, if you don't have a cell phone, you can't traveling. You need to stay home because it is impossible to travel without cell phone or a computer.
Yeah, unimaginable. Uh, Here in Brazil, for example, I use all the time the app that we get our ID. So all the time I use this. I don't use it anymore the printed document, my ID, except for I don't know if in Brazil you don't need anymore paper to show up in places. Although some specific case, I don't know if you're applying for something and you have to have a copy of this specific document. Uh, but other apps that I like to use, there are many. I mean, even a basic thing like flight radar 24 is very good to see if your flight is delayed or not, and um, the airplane if it's getting the airport or not. You can see these things online today, so it helps uh, most of the time to see what's going on the airport. And there is another one called Our Wallet that I like because you can see not only the tickets for your trips, and if for example, you have a change of the gauge of your flight, they notificate you. Hotel bookings, they can synchronize with your email too, and it's really useful. I I don't think many people know this app. It's
Yeah, I don't know what name.
Our Wallet. I put it on the chat.
Okay.
It's a very good app to have. Um, I don't know. And, I usually like to use more my computer to see things, plan. Many times just putting things on my notes on my cell phone. Um, I also use it the Notion for planning a trip, but I don't like so much the Notion app because it feels like a little bit complicated sometimes, and you just have to write things down, and sometimes you have to add tables and have specific templates to plan a trip. Um, I I don't know if I enjoyed really, but it's an app that you can see a lot of templates, maybe thousands of templates of planning trips for Notion. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nothing is like Excel.
Excel, it's I don't know, it's spreadsheets for planning a trip. It's strange. But you are the
Excel
guy of
for
the
all.
day.
Yeah, Excel for all.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think it's better than Notion, but not neither of them I would like to use. today to plan a trip.
Yeah,
A little bit strange.
I like no showing too. I like I
Yeah, most people likes Notion.
yeah, but they said the in Brazil we don't need it to the printed ID. Only in the government place because uh, he they ask it, and
Really?
the yeah the most of the places in the government asked for the document printed. But the other one is the credit card. You can have your credit card in your cell phone, and in Brazil, I too I don't bring the wallet for for the place because is dangerous because you can be stolen, and the cell phone is better because you have a password, and you can uh, how can I say, I don't remember the I forgot the word included in Brazil in português. Uh, Quando tu pode localizar o teu celular. I don't remember. But you can. It's more safe than you have your
Yeah.
wallet together.
Yeah. When I am like buying things at grocery stores or anything like in my city, I usually just take my cell phone too to pay things. After the pandemic, uh, places really worried about to be contactless payments methods, and it's much more easier today to find places that accept the contactless payments than before. After the pandemic, it was a good thing of the pandemic. Uh, I just make sure to have my wallet with me when I'm traveling, because especially some places that sometimes you are a little bit remote and you don't know for sure if any place would agree Apple wallets or something like that. And in this case, I have to stay with my wallet nearby. But yeah, in Aracaju, every place that I go, it's possible to pay with only my cell phone. It's a good thing from modern times.
Yeah,
But a lot of people don't think the same about you. I mean, they don't agree with you if you say that it's safer to pay with your cell phone. A lot of people include one of my teachers in IT said recently that it's they um, he doesn't believe it's safer to pay with your cell phone. Uh, it's crazy. A lot of people don't trust these things, especially
yeah.
older ones. I don't know.
Depends of who developed the security. The app. Yeah, I I agree because I agree in the I think the problem is if you don't know how to manage your security in your own cell phone. For example, if you have biometric, if you have a pin, if you block some things in your cell phone, I think it's very safe for you. But some apps, for example, my app of Caixa Tem was hacked in the last month because the security is different of the others banks, and I needed to block some things in the app. I need to cancel my account. So it's crazy because depends of the app, because it depends of the company, you know.
This happened with you with Caixa?
Yeah, Caixa.
Crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I worked with banks in the past, BTG Pactual and XP, and I could see a little bit from the inside side how these little things about security are important. And I have many stories about how bad Caixa is in terms of security, including. And yeah, it's crazy. And not this has nothing to do just the case it's a public company because Banco do Brasil is okay, it's not 100% a public company, but partly. And but they have a much more well developed app, and security of their services are much higher than Caixa, for example. I don't know if you have worked with this specific with banks with in your activity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a I have account in a lot of things because I tried BTG, I tried XP, Rico, another banks, and I agree with you. The Banco do Brasil is better, is safer than Caixa, and for example, for me, the best one is Nubank and XP. For me, XP is really good. You have a how can I say? I don't remember the name of the code, but the code expire. No, expira. I don't know the word in English.
The
The
not the
token,
password you're talking. Oh, the
token. Yeah.
token.
You have a
Yeah, every
password.
30
Yeah,
seconds, né?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have a password and you have a token. You have, for example, your biometric in your cell phone. For me, I think is safer than the other.
Yeah, and talking about continuing talking about security things. Do you see in your, for example, your company? I don't know if you have some, if your company has any policy about this, about, for example, using password managers, something like that. They have, and or not, and do you use? What do you think about this thing
In my company.
in your company and your personal life?
Yeah, I use it in the company. In my company, for example, we use it a cloud, and you have a lot of uh, security forms, and the architects manage that topic. And in my life, I have some uh, I don't know the word precauções. How can I say precauções?
Precautions.
Precautions, and uh, because for example, Caixa, I have the problem, so I know what I need to do for don't have more than same problem. You learn when you have a
Yeah.
problem.
But you don't use, for example, a password manager like one password, something like that.
No, I don't use. It's like a app.
Yeah, it's an app. You could run and as an extension your browser also. And there are some apps, some of these services. Some of them are paid and others free. I use one that is free called Bitwarden, but I use it in the past. Not one password. One password is the famous one. LastPass, but they had some issues with security breach, and after this I changed it to Bitwarden, which is open source and free. And the good thing about these services is you don't have to worry anybody about any anymore about um, memorizing passwords, etc. Each website you use, social network, etc. You can create a randomly password, like crazy one that you would never guess, but it's saved in this app, in this service, and you can use on your cell phone, on your browser, etc. The good side is that it generates different passwords for each website that you uh, ask for create, and it's impossible to get repeated, which is a bad thing about passwords. Usually, we have this thing about specific patterns that we repeat about creating passwords, and this is a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Be-
sure.
about passwords. Once you have one of them breached, exposed, it's easier to access your other sites. So uh, I don't know how we went to this topic, but about security, it's a service that I use for a long time, and it is recommended for a lot of companies. Some companies use one password, for example. Others use, for example, if you work with MacBook, they have a specific password manager of them. And many companies use this password manager. So yeah, for us with who works with IT area, it's something that we have to work sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
But getting back to our theme,
our
planning
question.
trips,
Yeah.
let's go to question number 8. Could you read the answer for us, please?
Okay. What's your opinion on packing light versus packing everything you might need for an international trip?
Do you consider yourself a minimalist person that don't require so much space for packing?
Uh, More or less, because I'm minimalist, for example, in the colors of my clothes, because I
I
only
can see.
use, yeah, I only use black. All my clothes are black, but this in the same time I have a lot of shirts, I have a lot of pants, so I don't I don't think uh, I agree. I think we have it for international trip, for example. Uh, Depends of the country, but I think uh, if you will traveling for a country that the clothes are cheap, you can bring a little package, and you can buy if you needed the clothes or more things. But if you will travel it for, I don't know, Peru, for example, you you need to bring all your clothes, all your clothes you will need.
Yeah, the most difficult thing is when you are traveling for a longer period, I don't know, like 10 days or more, and you don't have the option to dispatch your bags, and you many times only have a small bag to travel with, and this is very challenge for longer trips, like 10 days or more. And the times that I have to had to deal with this specific situation, uh, thanks God it was for warmer places, so I didn't have to worry about have big jackets and for cold weathers because this kind of clothes uh, uh, occupies a lot of space in your bag, and sometimes I had to wash my clothes because it wasn't enough to what I took to the trip. And sometimes when you are on longer trips, you have to wash your clothes and find a place to to get there and stay like 30 minutes of your day to wash everything and put all to on your apartment or any place you're staying to get uh, to get dry. So this uh, uh, sad thing that you have to do sometimes because
Yeah,
it's not the same thing when you're planning to use that specific clothes and you have to reuse them. It's not the same thing.
yeah. I have had a interesting experience this year because in south of Brazil, we have the first storm. And I have to go out of my house, and I bring only two pieces of clothes, and for me, and two pieces for my wife. And we needed to stay at hotel for 30 days, like 1 month in a hotel. And we needed uh, to wash our clothes in the hotel, in the shower. And only 1 week, uh, 1 week after, we needed to buy more clothes, because the was bad, and the clothes are wet. But I think I learned a lot with that experience, because we the most of time we think, oh, I needed a lot of things, I need a lot of clothes, I need a lot of
Yeah.
objects. And no, you need uh, you need it's only the necessary for live,
And Hamburgo suffered a lot with floods.
Yeah, I live it in São Leopoldo. Is next for the Novo Hamburgo. And the for example, I think the 50% of the city have it water. So I needed to change my house in this period, in May of this year. And this experience was interesting for me.
Interesting is a good
Yeah,
word, at least. Today you live in São Leopoldo or Novo Hamburgo?
Novo Hamburgo. Novo Hamburgo.
Okay. And you decided to move after this thing, the
Yeah,
floods?
yeah, because I think the most important thing is you are safe. If you don't are safe, you have a problem. So uh,
Yeah,
this problem I solved this year.
yeah. So basically you are on a higher ground now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I imagine. Uh, I was almost went to not to these cities that you we talked, but to Serra Gaúcha uh, this month. So
yeah.
it's a beautiful place.
Thanks.
Where you live is near, for
It's
example,
near.
Canela, Gramado.
Yeah, it's like one
Yeah.
hour.
1 hour.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very near.
Do you go there like many times in the year or not?
Yeah, sometimes we have a lot of events in Gramado. For example, in Gramado we have the Gramado Summit is a good event, and I like it because
About IT?
yeah, it's like about startup, but have a lot of
Okay,
yeah, have a lot of
nice.
startups about IT, and well,
When it occurs,
what
when it occurs, this event in Gramado,
uh, I think is April.
April. Okay.
Yeah, this year I think was April. Is
And
a good
it's
event.
annually.
Yeah, annually. Yeah,
Nice.
and in Porto Alegre we have the South Summit too. It's
South
similar.
Summit.
Yeah, it's similar.
Nice. I ask it this because usually when you live in a place, we many times don't find it to experience the things that this place offers in terms of tourism specifically. This happens commonly with everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think you people from Rio Grande do Sul usually enjoys more your own land than other people in general.
Yeah, I think yes.
It's something that we could improve more. Many times we like to say bad things about our place, but there are nice things too in every place where you live.
Yeah, you need to see the bright side.
Yeah, exactly. Um, let's go to our last question. Um, let me see. We have number 9 and number 10. Da, da, da. Number 9. Let's go to number 9. In your view, what are the best ways to manage time zones and jet lag during long distance travel? Once you plan to be a nomad person who could live in US, Singapore, Indonesia, and all these places have different, uh, not only time zones, but different ways of life. How do you think you could manage to set these periods and change from a place to another without suffering so much?
Uh, I don't know. I need to have this experience because I don't know how can I answer this question. But I think you need to sleep. When you arrive it, you need to sleep.
That's a good starting point. You have to you need to be sure that once you have there, you have to stay up until the night, and only at night you can sleep. If you, I mean, if you give up and you sleep, I don't know, at a morning or afternoon after you get there, you're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah,
And this is yeah, because your biological clock is messed up easily with these things.
makes sense.
Uh, for example, a lot of people who travel internationally with Formula One, not only the pilots, the drivers, but the all the teams and the mechanics, etc. They have to work about these little things. For example, when you are driving in the Singapore uh, Grand Prix, these races at night, and some weeks ago or later, you have to change your 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 time zone, and this other race is going to be on afternoon. And there is a totally different preparation to go to this specific Grand Prix in Singapore because it occurs at night, and it's totally different time zone from Europe or Asia. It's something in the midway. And one thing that they say, uh, also you have to drive at night. I have to stay up during all the night. I mean, the time you're going to sleep is in the morning because you have to stay up in the night, and you stay part of the day sleeping to stay up to get up in the night, and you close all the curtains of your room on your hotel, and you have to sometimes take some pills uh, to make your body to sleep, to get used to this specific time zone. It's crazy.
Yeah, is a good strategy for have a best performance, I think.
And when I had to change a lot about time zone. I try to do this. I mean, I have to stay up until the night, or when I get there, if it's in the morning, I try to sleep all the time during the flight. If not, you're going to suffer a lot. I mean, if you, for example, um, get in Europe in the morning, but you didn't sleep in the airplane, you're going to feel really tired during the day. And it's okay if you going to sleep at night. But if you, for example, say, "Oh, I'm going to take a nap during the morning or the afternoon," it's over me. Your biological clock is already messed up for your whole week.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Makes sense.
Well, that's it. I have to try to promote a little bit more this immersion because a lot of people don't know that happens at 8 p.m. on a Sunday, so it's not so common to see people to show up here, but it
Yeah,
was a great time to have you here,
yeah,
Jose.
yeah, because it's a good time to have a class in
Yeah,
general.
maybe I don't know. I have to compete with Fantástico or anything like this, and people prefer to
No, I
stay
think not.
there.
I think not.
I know. The competition is not easy, but we'll survive. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. It was a nice chat with you, and hope to see you here next week.
Yeah, thank you, Clinton. I learn a lot with you. Thank you.
Nice. So that's it. Have a nice week and see you next time.